Hey there, and welcome to my channel, The Paper Bag Investor. Today's video, I want to talk about Square stock, their recent Q4 2020 earnings, and give you my thoughts on their earnings that they reported, that letter, and let you know, hopefully help you decide whether you should be a Square shareholder or not. So, let's get into it. Before I go any further though, I want to make it absolutely clear, not a personal financial advisor. I'm just a guy with a paper bag on his head who loves investing and thinking about the future. If you love investing, you love thinking about that future, the future of things, I encourage you, hit that subscribe button, follow along with my channel as it grows, and become a better investor with me. You'll probably love my content if you're like a long-term, high-growth investor. So, with that out of the way, we'll get into it here. I want to first of all explain what's my general thesis on Square. I've been holding Square for about last year sometime, at about $120, $125 a share, and I've been holding since. So what's my general thesis on Square? For me, it's all about the CashApp. So the CashApp is their digital wallet, which is kind of like not just a wallet for sending money back and forth, but almost like a complete banking system that you can have as an app on your phone. And so it's all about the CashApp, and it's all about user growth with the CashApp. And let me explain why or how this works. So in my mind, the CashApp has the potential to solve one major problem we have in the world today, and that is the challenge of exchanging funds, exchanging money back and forth. See, we live in a world where you can video chat with 100 different people instantly from all over the world, talking back and forth. But if you wanted to send money to your friend who's beside you and you don't actually have physical cash, it's quite challenging actually still to send money. I mean, there's e-transfers we have in Canada. There's other ways to wire money, send electronic digital payments through your traditional banks. But oftentimes there's can still take, in Canada where I live, we send an e-transfer. It's usually a $10 minimum you can send. It can take up to half an hour to send. So it's not like real instant, like sending a text message and the money is there. That's kind of what I would imagine would be the easiest, simplest way to send and receive money. That's sort of the ultimate way, where as easy it is to send a text message to somebody, you can send them any amount of money. You can send them 5 cents, you can send them $500, whatever you want. So that would be the ideal. And CashApp, they kind of have the potential to solve this problem, is because if the user base grows enough with one kind of digital wallet such as the CashApp, if the user base can grow significantly and enough, then it's kind of like everyone within the silo of the CashApp, that banking system, they could send money, they can right now send money back and forth instantly because it's all kind of within one system, one silo. So, and CashApp's trying to attract users and grow users within their networks by not just making it one sort of, one digital wallet like some other digital wallets are, but really making it a comprehensive bank where you don't need your other traditional bank. You can just bank and do all your banking and financial needs with the CashApp. You can invest your money in the CashApp. You can get loans and mortgages in the CashApp. You can get your direct deposit from your workplace, goes right into the CashApp. Of course, you can send money to your friends and relatives and anyone you're doing business with who also has the CashApp back and forth instantly and free. So it's different, and it's different than a traditional bank because traditional banks don't maybe have that same software experience to build the system that's that slick, and also because traditional banks have a lot more brick and mortar stores and a lot more overhead that prevents them from scaling rapidly digitally. And for this kind of system I'm talking about, it needs to be able to grow rapidly and easily and digitally, so that you get more and more users in the system, because the more users are in the system, then the more valuable it is to everybody else, because the more and more people who use CashApp, the more people you can send and receive money instantly with. So that's kind of my theory, and I call that sort of that sending and receiving, and as the network grows of something like the CashApp, I call this the network effect. And Cash App has extremely powerful network effects, as that the more it scales and grows, the more valuable it becomes to every user within the network. I've explained this in other videos, but to give a quick explanation again, what I'm calling network effects. So Facebook, for example, has extremely powerful network effects. If you're the only person if you're Mark Zuckerberg and you're the first guy on Facebook, it's totally useless, right? It's just, there's literally no value whatsoever to it. If your friend and all your friends, one of your friends is on Facebook as well, suddenly there's some value. You can share things back and forth. But then as all your friends in your network start to join Facebook, it becomes very valuable to you, as you can send and receive information, photos, whatever, back and forth. And then as those networks expand, it becomes more and more valuable to everybody in the network. So the value as a whole to each member of the network grows exponentially as the size of the network grows. That's what a powerful network effect is. And Cash App, just like Facebook, has extremely powerful network effect because it solves this one critical problem, that the more and more people are in the network, if everybody in the world used the Cash App, it'd be super slick. You could send money back and forth. You want to pool together your finances at your office party so you can buy a gift for your boss. Boom, everyone can just one person can have the Cash App, everyone can send them, $19.87 for the gift that they bought, and boom, they can go to the store and tap the Cash App and also send that money to the store's business account for the Cash App. It would be all perfectly seamless. That'd be kind of the most ideal scenario for the user base, also as a shareholder, especially because there'd be ways to incentivize or advertise, and ways they are using right now, the Cash App, to monetize that. So that's my theory in a nutshell. There's a whole other sides of Square where they sell seller ecosystem. You can receive credit card things, and they can help you set up software to manage your business, your small business. All that stuff's great. I'm happy they have that side of the business. It helps them remain profitable, helps them bring in profit, and those sides of the business are fine. But to me, they're not the crux of the business. The thing I care most about, the only thing I really watch and focus on as an investor, is the Cash App. Okay, so that gives you my kind of thesis on Square, and I'm going to now, let's just bring up their Q4 Cash App page and read some of that letter. So here's their Q4 page. I'm just going to read some of this letters. They're saying their Cash App had more than 36 million monthly transactive active users, up more than 50% year over year. So these are their monthly active users of the Cash App from 2016 to the end of last year. We went 3,000,007. 15 million, 24 million, 36 million. So it's scaling up. You can see that the percentage rate is actually decreasing. So it was more than 100% growth, like 60% growth, and then like 50% growth. But if the actual number of users per month, the monthly active users, that the amount of users, the actual amount is still growing, accelerating, which is a great sign. That's, to me, the most critical thing to watch. So we had a 4 million jump here, and then an 8 million jump. So it went from 4 million increase to 8 million increase to 9 million increase, and then from 9 million to 12 million increase. So it's kind of going that 4, 8, 9, 12. As long as that doesn't level off, that goes, to 12 million. If it stays at 12 million every year, that to me, that's too slow of a growth for what they want, really, what they're priced at and what you'd want to see as an investor. But if that keeps accelerating, say next year instead of 12 million, they get 15 or 20 million, and they're at like 50 to 60 million users by the end of 2021. To me, that's a great sign. Just going to keep holding as an investor. But we'll get into more of the detail here in a moment. So in their letter, they say, they're up more than 50%. That's awesome. Peer-to-peer payments remain a primary driver of customer acquisition. So again, this is how a network effect, it also can scale more and more rapidly because users can see the value of it. So then they join the network more readily because they say, oh yeah, hey mom and dad, you should get the Cash App. My friends and I all use the Cash App. So then their parents get the Cash App, and then enough parents of kids who've have the Cash App, now those parents meet other parents, and they say, well, you should get the Cash App, and then they get the Cash App. And before you know it, more and more people are using the Cash App, using the same digital wallet, the same bank in a sense. to send their money back and forth. And there also, this is a great sign too, there's nearly a 50% increase in peer-to-peer transactions sent per customer compared to the prior year. So the amount of use per customer, even though this is scaling up, they're actually using it more and more, which is, you kind of think of Facebook an example. If you're, 10 people on Facebook, well, you can go on Facebook to check a few things out and it's a little bit useful, but you're not going to spend lots of time on there. But then suddenly, if the whole world's on Facebook and all the people you might know are on that same network that you have, then you might spend more time on Facebook because it becomes more useful to you. In the same way, CashApp is growing like that, which is really, really awesome to see. Also, this is really, really awesome to see. Their network effects have complemented our paid marketing campaigns, allows us to maintain a low acquisition cost of $5 in 2020 for a new transacting active customer. So they're paying, and that's like with referral fees, advertising, brand spend. So they have different incentives for you to sign up for the Cash App. They're paying about $5 per customer to get a new customer is kind of how they're seeing that. So that $5 kind of rate, which is amazing. And I think they're saying, that number has been dropping over time. So of course, again, it's harder to get someone to sign up and then gets easier over time as more and more people sign up. We've also seen, but they say some of their like different, products within the Cash App. We've seen increased engagement and monetization. Again, more and more use out of each person. So gross profit per monthly transacting active customer reached $41 in the fourth quarter, up approximately 70% year over year. So this is where these kind of things as an investor can get very exciting. It might not look that exciting from someone who can't really see these network effects or analyze them correctly. But if you think about it, it's like, so if this number just keeps scaling up, and this number keeps scaling up, if this goes from $41 to $65, say next year, and this number to get a new customer goes from $5 to $4, and then you can keep growing your customer base with incentives, and it gets easier and easier, then, that's a powerful network effects that are really driving that whole adoption. And that's going to bring a ton of value to shareholders long term. Okay, let's see, anything else I can talk about here? They're talking about some of their Boost. It's sort of a rewards program in the Cash App, which is one way they're monetizing things. Yeah, I think that's about all we will talk about here. But really exciting, again, that this is scaling, that the amount of users, what I'm looking at is the number of users year over year that number is increasing, and it is still increasing. Is that 4, 8, 9, now 12. So I'm hoping that's like 15 million and we hit like 51 million users at the end of this year. And then I hope at like 2022 it's like 25 million and we're at like 70 something million at the end of the year after. So that's kind of my hope as an investor. So you might want to know, what's the bottom line? What do I think of Square as an investor? What am I doing with my own shares? First off, I want to say, if I was, what I would hope for from the leadership of Square, from Jack Dorsey and the other leadership, I would hope that they go pedal to the metal, try and continue to grow the Cash App adoption as aggressively as possible. So even if they have to spend more, it becomes a little less efficient. They're spending more than $5 of advertising incentive spend to get more customers. I mean, I gladly spend that. Why not spend $10 a person if that helps accelerate the growth faster? Because it is really like, you really want to seize as much of the market as possible, because once there's sort of one main digital wallet like this, a digital bank that creates a network where you can send money back and forth instantly, it's going to be really difficult for anybody else to dethrone that. It's kind of like, once Facebook has the spot of Facebook, it's really difficult to dethrone that. Once Google has the spot of YouTube, it's really difficult to dethrone that, or anyone really to challenge YouTube going forward in that exact kind of niche that they're in. So I would want to see that aggressive growth. Like, why not just push pedal to the metal? I would also, if I was them, I really hope they look for current existing networks. So they should be able to see who's using the Cash App and where they are. And if they see that, oh, this certain city, this certain state really uses it, then really give even higher incentives for people in that area to sign up, because it's going to just really push in those pockets, because they already, just by proximity, people living close together, interacting with each other, they're going to have more and more incentive if you're not in the Cash App to already join the Cash App. So why not really push those networks to expand and grow from there? Same kind of way that Facebook, when they started, they only started at certain universities. They didn't just start everywhere. They targeted university campus, and then those campuses, as they grew out and they expanded their user base, it was within that network of all these university students at one campus that all know each other. It'd grow really rapidly. Very, very smart how Facebook expanded. And then as those universities all expanded and grew, then it kind of opened up to everybody. Oh, you can all have Facebook. That was over time. But so that's what I want to see with Cash App. Really target where you're already kind of hot, get even hotter, you really own those networks, and then expand out from there. That's what I mean, expand everywhere you can as much as you can, but really target those areas. So that's what I want to see from them as their own strategy. And I just hope, again, pedal to the metal growth. As what am I doing with my shares? I'm really excited. I'm still just going to watch. I'm going to hold my shares. If I didn't own any Square, I probably would buy some at this point, but it's a few percent of my portfolio, and I'll probably be happy with that, holding that. If I didn't own any, again, I might consider buying some. And I'll be holding for sure and watching that user base of the Cash App growth over time, quarter by quarter. If that falters or levels off or just slows down and it's not growing like it should, like the number of users per year over year that's being added plateaus and stops accelerating, I would probably sell my shares. And if that happened, I would let you guys know as well that I was selling my shares, just so you had that heads up. But that's what I think of Square in a nutshell, and why, again, I'm excited for them and for their future, and like their Q4 2020 earnings. What did you think of this video? What did you think of Square? Let us know in the comments down below. If you got value out of this, hit that subscribe button, share it with somebody else who might find value, who's interested in Square, and hit the thumbs up. Helps the YouTube algorithm. Okay, I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, and remember, it's in the bag. Cheers.